Whose Treasure Is It? Is a nice little mystery. This is the second segment of the 12th episode of the third season of Mickey Mouse Funhouse. And there will be spoilers from now as I discuss what happens throughout the episode. I like to watch these to see how educational they are. I grew up watching a lot of Disney, a lot of children's shows, and it's really great to see that they're still really educational, delivering some really great messages for younger viewers. The message in this one maybe isn't as important as some others, but it's still a fun story. We have a nice mystery. It's a great way for viewers to practice comprehension. It's kind of immersive as you're kind of encouraged to think of who might be the owner of the treasure, but I will talk more about that in a moment. And in general, it is a really decent experience. This one starts off with a letter being sent from Cora the Crab, and they need to go to Giant Crab Island. When we get there, we learn that Cora had tripped over a treasure chest. It's absolutely adorable because she's huge and it's teeny tiny in her claw, and it just looks adorable. And she says quite rightly, we need to return this to its rightful owner. That does take the fun out of hunting for treasure chests, but she had a valid point. If you find something that doesn't belong to you, it's best to return it to the owner. So they figure, instead of returning it to the Lost and Found Island, they should open it and see if they can use the items as clues to determine the rightful owner. Okay, so they shouldn't have opened it. And they do kind of conclude this at the end, and I'll talk about that when we get there. But it does give us a fun mystery. Also, the animation in this is stunning. So brightly coloured, gorgeous. It's beautiful, beautiful to look at. And we have 3 objects. A ring with bones on it, salt and pepper shakers, and a cowbell. And my only thought was Clarabelle. Was I right? Well, we'll find out in a moment. I was genuinely interested to see where things would go. So while I don't think it has the biggest messages or morals, there are some of them, of course. The story itself is a nice little adventure. Mickey in particular is very eager to find the pirate who buried this chest or maybe lost the treasure chest. And they first go to Captain Salty Bones because of the ring. It's not his. And then they go to Captain Pepperlemon because of the salt and pepper shakers. Not there either. And then they go to Buccaneer Belle, Clarabelle, with Cuckoo Loca. And I thought, okay, is this where I'm going to be right? I thought Cowbell, Clarabelle. Nope. Not Clarabelle's either. So I was genuinely confused at this point because I had no idea what was happening. And we find that the treasure is actually belonging to Wheezelene and the other weasels. It's not the most satisfying ending. I don't think the clues connected enough. I feel like young viewers in particular should have been able to connect the dots more readily, but it's not the worst ending. But I just don't think that it connects well enough to the items, giving them a purpose for this treasure. I don't think the ending was that satisfying. I think it should have been a little bit more straightforward, such as the bell for Clarabelle, the bones ring for Captain Salty Bones. But the characters are fun, and ultimately the main message here is that Mickey should have listened to the others. Because the others were suggesting that they just take the chest to the Lost and Found Island, and Mickey wanted this adventure. He wanted to find the owner based on the clues in the chest, and ultimately he realised that he should have just returned it, or given it in to the Lost and Found Island, because they were not able to use the clues. And the message there is that if you find something, the best thing to do is just give it to Lost and Found, because chances are that's where the person's going to be looking. If you lose something, particularly at school, go to the Lost and Found property. There's a good chance it's there. So, a nice message, maybe not the strongest or the most important compared with some other episodes, but it told the story in a fun and engaging way. The outcome of the story may not have been the most satisfying, but it worked well enough. I believed it. And on top of that, we have some stunning animation. So all things considered, Whose Treasure Is It? Is not a bad episode of Mickey Mouse Funhouse.